The heart monitor flatlined for a brief second, and in that fragile pause, time itself seemed to stop. Sunlight streamed softly through the hospital window, illuminating the still body of a young Marine. Nurse Alina Voss stood beside the bed, gripping the rail tightly. Her heart pounded louder than the machine's, as if her determination alone could pull him back. She had seen trauma before. Years in the ICU had taught her how to stay strong. But this patient was different. His name was Kale Rowan, a Marine, injured during a brutal training accident. Multiple injuries and severe head trauma had left him suspended between life and death. Yet somehow, he didn't feel like just another patient. Every morning before her shift began, Alina would stand beside him. She adjusted his blankets, checked his vitals, and spoke to him softly, even though he never responded. She told herself it was routine, but deep down, it was hope. Doctors had already begun preparing for the worst. Words like unlikely and minimal response filled the room, but Alina refused to accept that ending. She had seen miracles before. Still, as days turned into weeks, doubt began to creep in. She wondered if she was holding on to someone who was already gone. Then one afternoon, something changed. A small movement, a twitch in his fingers. Alina froze. Over the next few days, more signs appeared. Tiny, but undeniable. A shift in breathing, a faint response. Hope returned. She spent even more time by his side, talking to him about life beyond the hospital. Sunlight, laughter, simple moments. It was as if she was guiding him back home. And then, the moment came. His eyes slowly opened, not suddenly, not dramatically, just a quiet return to the world. Alina leaned closer, her breath caught in her chest as his gaze finally settled on her. There was confusion in his eyes, but also recognition. Doctors rushed in, voices filled the room, but for Alina, everything faded except that one moment. Then Kale tried to speak. The room went silent. Alina leaned in, barely breathing. His first words weren't about pain. They weren't questions. They were about her. In a weak, trembling voice, he acknowledged her presence. Her voice, her care, even in unconsciousness. He had known she was there. He'd held on to it. Tears filled Alina's eyes. All those days she spoke into silence. They weren't empty after all. Her kindness had reached him. Recovery wasn't easy. It would take time, strength, and patience. But one thing had changed forever. He was no longer alone. And Alina realized something she would never forget. Sometimes the most powerful acts of kindness happen quietly. In moments when we think no one is listening, but they are. Subscribe for more powerful stories like this. K for kindness.